It's tight at the top of La Liga after this weekend's results. Of course, in the derby at the Bernabeu, it finished Real Madrid 0, Atletico Madrid 0. Forgive us if we don't spend too much time, in fact, any time on that game. The sooner we forget about it, the better. Meanwhile, the big story once again coming out of Catalonia, Barcelona only managing a 1-1 draw against Athletic Bilbao. The front page of Sport sums it up quite nicely. Despite everything, still leaders, and it was always going to be difficult to replicate their form of last season, but boy, they've struggled. They've dropped 7 points in the last 3 games. Of their first 21 games last season, they only dropped 6 points. They've conceded 8 goals in their last 7 matches. Last season, you had to go to their 19th game for when they would concede that 8th goal. It's a phenomenally strange start, isn't it, for Barca? And what makes it stranger is that it was such a perfect start. You know, we saw them thrash Huesca, we saw them start off with that perfect record. Yet the last 2 matches, something is clearly not right with Barcelona.
I think there's a difference between the defeat to Leganés and this draw against Athletic Bilbao. When Leganés went up 2-1, there was no reaction from Barcelona. It was lifeless. It was a performance that had no substance to it and no real inspiration behind it. Against Athletic Bilbao, there was a reaction. Barcelona did create opportunities. They did hit the post. There was something about this team that said, you know what, we have to get this in the right direction. We have to make sure that we do not drop any more points. Eventually, they did drop 2 points at home. And then it's going to pile up because of what you've been carrying for the last week or so. The bigger question for Barcelona is, regardless of whether you start Lionel Messi or not, which is something that we can discuss, is how Athletic Bilbao, barely attacking, having one player really to thread, which is Iñaki Williams. And let me tell you, he's no world beater. A guy with just a little bit of athleticism to try to get him behind, but not a whole lot more. This one guy, by just running him behind, is causing all sorts of problems, all sorts of difficulties for Barcelona. And it has been the case, as it was with Leganés, that players that you've never heard of, that they will walk into the studio right now would be like, bring security, we don't know who this guy is. These guys are creating problems for Barcelona. So, individual defending, not good. Group defending, not good. Their ability to recover the ball in the attacking half, which is something that Barcelona at their very best is what they do better than everybody else in the world at their very best. They're not doing it. So they're losing the ball in the attacking half. Counter-attacking is happening. They can't defend in 1v1 situations. Piqué's had a tough time over the last month. Umtiti doesn't seem to know what to do. And then there is no help out of the midfield, and all of a sudden Iñaki Williams is a superstar. And that's been happening all too often. The numbers show that, and the performances show that.